when it comes to training, your input needs to equal your output. So that'd be my probably my biggest message, that look, if you're training 6 days a week, what are you doing for recovery? Because the body will eventually break, and it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter gender. Honestly, it doesn't matter. The body will break if the recovery doesn't match the input, the training that you're doing. So that would be my biggest takeaway message. And then to follow on to that, it's what are you doing for recovery? So, and again, that very much depends on, I could sit here and whittle through all sorts of types of recoveries, but it very much depends on where you're feeling the niggle, what sport you're doing, what muscles you're using predominantly, and kind of going from there. If there is, with your listeners, if they are struggling with an injury, I'd always say, look, try and fix it yourself. My biggest thing would be rest doesn't solve anything. I've never told any of my patients to rest ever. And that's the one thing they can probably quote from me, is that it's all about active rest. Resting an injury doesn't make it go away. All you're doing is avoiding the aggravating factor. You're not doing anything to resolve the issue. And I think that's the biggest bit of education I probably want to give on your podcast, along with what I said earlier about the recovery. Mm-hmm. So again, if they're not sure what they can be doing, without wanting to promote the Physiotherapy Society or osteopaths around the UK or chiropractors or whatever, I'd recommend getting expert advice and finding a physiotherapist, as I've mentioned before, other therapists. And I'd go on recommendation personally. It's always the best way to get the advice or the expertise that you need, is going off recommendations that friends and family may say, go see them. They're good at what they do. That'd be my advice. So again, going with your 3-pronged approach of education, support and coaching.
Brilliant. Great response. And it depends on where people are based, right? And if they're 2 hours away from a brilliant physio, is that really going to help them? Maybe not.
It all depends on the severity of the injury. If you've had something which is chronic, chances are you've probably done everything already. So my first protocol would be, have you had hands-on treatment? There's so many different ways. As I said, I've learned and developed so many different tools to try and treat problems in hundreds of different ways, so that there's hopefully always a solution to the same injury, which present differently with different people. So it's just a case of finding what works for you.